Hi, my name is Ashley Goldberg, and over the last 8 weeks, I've learned quite a bit about my own interpersonal communication skills. A little bit about me. I started off college at my undergraduate degree at Rhode Island College, earning a degree in theater performance and a minor in music vocal performance. I graduated in 2015, and I was involved in many clubs and organizations throughout the years. I currently hold two jobs. The first one is a waitress part-time, and the second one is as a domestic violence advocate. I work within the domestic violence field within courthouses, schools, teaching students about the dangers of teen dating violence, as well as working one-on-one and in support groups with local survivors of domestic violence. I come from a family of 4 daughters. My parents are still together, and they have always made sure our home is a God-centered home. We pray together, go to church together, read the Bible together. It's something that has given us all a very strong faith. My parents have taught us from the early years that we need to articulate the things that we want and need. I remember being 13 and having to form an entire presentation for my parents on why I should get a cartilage piercing. Communication with my family has always been at the forefront of our family, and making sure that we communicate well with each other and have a full plan on the things that we want in our lives. I have had a few major events that have really impacted the way that my identity and communication skills work. When I was 13, I was in a major car accident, and this was where my eyes kind of opened to the world. The second was when I was abused and assaulted at the age of 18. This is the one that probably affected me the most, as it made me go from extroverted to introverted. I became shy and quiet, which was never the person I was when I was a child. The next thing is connected to the second. I have 3 mental health diagnoses: post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and anxiety. All of these play into the shy and quiet introvert that I've become over the years. The overarching goal for my life is that I would like to work in the areas of sexual assault and domestic violence, bringing education and awareness. I would love to affect people and bring down the statistic rates so that maybe less people have to deal with the things that go on in this world that are so awful. At the beginning of this class, we had to take the Uniquely You personality quiz and get our behavioral blends. So for what people expected of me, I got competent, steady doers. It means that I'm passive, but I surprise people with my dominance at points. I'm quiet, shy. I like to plan and prepare, and I like to help others feel assured. When it comes to what I see of myself, I got competent specialist. Also means I'm passive. I don't like to express my feelings openly. I prefer to be one-on-one than in large groups. I'm a great friend, loyal listener, not bossy, and not an inspiring public speaker, which is actually kind of funny because for part of my job, I have to be a public speaker. There are positive influences that this behavioral blend brings on my communication. I like to see jobs done to completion. I don't like to take an idea and just leave it floating out there. I like to see it completed. I work well one-on-one. I like to be one-on-one, talking with them, bringing them resources, and helping them. But I also work well with people, which in this field, we are a team. We have to work together or else we'll never succeed in the things that we want to do. I give off a layer of confidence. Although I'm not always very confident in the things that I do and say, I give off that I am, and I present myself well, which is a good way, which I kind of attribute to my theater degree. I learned to be an actress. So even when I'm not the most confident, I still stand as though I am. I also make plans and I follow them through. Again, I don't like to see those ideas just floating around. There are some negative influences on my communication though, such as I might be too easygoing at times, where I kind of just sit back and let others take the wheel and see where it happens. I'm also a people pleaser, which has gotten me into some situations at work where if a coworker needs things typed or sent out and they ask me, I don't always say no. And I jump in and I help out. And my job ends up suffering because of it. I'm not always the most confident. Although I give off that confidence, I question myself a lot. I wonder if what I'm doing is right and if I'm saying the right things. I don't always appear to be enthusiastic and outgoing. Although I like to try new things, they make me nervous. And I might be excited, but I'm not very good at showing it. I also have an introverted nervousness, or what I like to call anxiety. I get very nervous, and I stick to myself, and I go into myself, and I get lost in my own thoughts. This has led to some communication barriers, such as shyness, questioning myself, worried I will say the wrong thing, losing concentration, and nervous when public speaking. Shy, I'm introverted. I am a self-proclaimed awkward person. I'm affected by social anxiety. And studies have even shown that shyness and social anxiety disorder go very well together. It's because when someone gets socially anxious, they become shy. They become an introvert. They're afraid of saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing or making a joke that no one likes. And it causes them to focus in on themselves. I question myself. I question the things I say and do, and although I may be doing and saying all the right things, I will always wonder what I can be doing better. I'm always worried about saying the wrong thing. To clients, I don't want to upset them, and to friends and strangers, that I'll say something that'll make them upset or mad at me. That fear of what people think is huge in my life. When I lose concentration, it's usually when people are talking. My eyes will wander, my thoughts will wander, and I'll daze off into my own mind. And it's something I need to be working on to make sure that I pay full attention and don't lose track of the conversations. When it comes to my public speaking, I spend a lot of time public speaking for my job. I go to different high schools sharing my story of survival, and I'm afraid of saying the wrong things or stumbling over my words or looking stupid. And this will cause me to speak fast and to actually stumble over my words, which makes me think I look stupid. Some of the resources that I found in this class that were very helpful were the inhale and exhale. It's very fascinating to look at something that we take for granted, like breathing, and realize that it's so right. We inhale all these things from the world around us, from the things that we go through to the things that we read, the people around us, and then we exhale the things that we learn. And it's just fascinating to think of it that way. The talker listener is a great way to remind ourselves to listen to what other people are saying, and to sit down and actually focus in on what they have to say to us. Nonverbal conversation and body language, giving off that we're equal and provide a safe place to talk, sitting at the same level and focusing on each other, and eye contact are all things to let a person know that we're listening and that we care about what they have to say. And active listening techniques such as paraphrasing, checking for assumptions, open-ended questions, all of these things help us to provide for the people that we're talking to and letting them know that when they're telling us something, that it is coming into our brains, we're listening to it, we're processing it, and that we're understanding them. Some of the strategies I have that I've gained from the resources to work on my things are like working on my fear of groups, taking myself through social situations and working my way through them, processing them out, becoming comfortable with my awkward tendencies and owning them. Work on my fear of being wrong and realizing it's okay to be wrong and to accept when I'm wrong and to fix it. And, to be strong in my beliefs and my standpoints and know that I'm not always wrong. Also working on my fear of what people think of me, because even though people may not always think the best of me, I have to be okay with what I say and know that I'm not going to please every person out there. When I come to losing my concentrations, focusing on my body language, working on a strong physical listening skills such as focusing on them, eye contact, finding pinpoints in their conversations to stay engaged. To work my nervousness when public speaking, putting myself out there more, being proud of what I have to present, slowing my speech, and sounding stronger. I'm going to be putting myself into more public situations, but safe ones where I can become more comfortable. Doing more research into the topics I'm speaking so I can be sure of what I have to say. Speaking to those in my job who do more public speaking and asking about techniques that they use to help them feel stronger. I'm going to practice saying no, especially in those work situations where my job could suffer because I'm helping someone with theirs. And I want to start taking more public leadership roles of, proving myself to not only myself but to others. This class has taught me that while there are many positive things to bring to the table, that I'm the one that gets in my own way. I need to take these positive attributes and start to refine them so that I can bring something positive to the workplace and to my life. By overcoming some of my fears, I can become a stronger person. I can work better in one-on-one, groups, and in public situations. All of these are bringing positive changes to my life and to my communication. And the resources I've learned will continue to help in my job and in my personal life. Thank you for listening and have a great day.